Hey guys, how's it going? We've been real busy here at Authentic Mission. We're going to be doing a few videos today. One that my assistant is just hearing about now as I'm saying it. He's going to be announcing the next step in our I'm Not a Monster, keep in mind that's a working title, screenplay, which would be something he's doing for us. So I think he knows now what he's going to be announcing later. Anyway, so today I want to talk about, right now TIFF is going on, otherwise known as the Toronto International Film Festival. And it's become the most, in my opinion, the most prestigious film festival in the world. Maybe I'm biased because I'm from Canada, I don't know. But what I love about TIFF and what I love about the film festivals that comes up now is a lot of movies are coming out about issues. And I just posted about this in a group that I created on Facebook called the Film Arts Support Group. If you're 18 or over, check us out on Facebook. And what I love is the fact that, look, a lot of remakes are being done, or reboots, or, Star Wars is coming out with new episodes, and they're pretty good, they're amazing, they're cool, but it feels like a part of Hollywood is rehashing old stuff because they're running out of ideas. And as a writer who's trying to get discovered, all I gotta say is there is no reason to do as many reboots as we've been doing. Sometimes they're cool, but I said this before, and sometimes on this channel I like to redo some topics because sometimes they bear repeating. And what I love is that, there's two movies right now from TIFF. One with David Oyelowo, about the first interracial marriage in Africa. And then there's another one called Loving that's being in TIFF right now that's already getting a lot of Oscar buzz. And that's what I love too. Loving, it kind of has a double meaning in my opinion, because it's a love story, and one of the main characters, the last name of the main characters is Loving, Gene Loving or Ted Loving or something like that. And I just, as a new writer trying to get discovered, I have to ask, why are we doing so many reboots? And sometimes they're a fit, Fuller House versus Full House, Girl Meets World, Boy Meets World previously. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a fit, but sometimes it's why are we doing that? Has Hollywood become that hungry for money that they're just going to be 20 years ago this was a hit, let's do it again? All I have to say to Hollywood is change your opinion a little bit on I've sent scripts. I believe in the saying, go big or go home. And I've sent scripts to Hollywood studios, or I've written them emails and I've said, would you look at my script? And they're like, nope, if you don't have an agent, nope, we're not looking at you, blah, blah, blah. At least in Canada, right, I can send a script to one of the major networks, and as long as you sign a waiver saying that it's your property, they will at least have the decency to look at your script and hopefully, if you ask them, give you feedback. But Hollywood, you don't need to be repeating everything so much. Come up with newer stuff, or give more of an independent film market. More of an independent film feel is what I mean. I'm sure there's tons of stories out there that need to be told, whether they be Aboriginal stories, gay rights stories, human rights stories, such as, like, one thing that's been kicking around in my mind, and I don't know where to begin with it, is a couple years ago I did a documentary, which I'm still looking for distribution for, but I helped my friend do a documentary, and I bought the rights to it before he closed his company, and it's called, like, I helped him produce it, but it's called, Disabled But Still Able, and I learned, like, in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, maybe even 70s, if you were disabled, you were put in group homes, or you were told you would never do this or that, and you were retarded. I don't mean that in an offensive way, but there's plenty of stories out there. Like, another thing that never gets talked about, for example, right? We've all heard about the Holocaust, and if you haven't heard about it, research it, because it's an important moment in history. And heads up, if you haven't researched it, it is difficult to hear about. But, like, one thing that doesn't get talked about with the Holocaust and with Hitler trying to kill all the Jewish people, he also tried to kill disabled people. If you were disabled, or you were not of blonde hair and blue eyes, you were a nothing race to Hitler. Nothing. Okay? You were inferior, you were garbage. So if you were disabled, you were killed. I don't know how, I don't know if it was the same as the Jewish people. Probably. But that's one thing about the Holocaust that never gets talked about. That disabled people were killed as well. There's so many stories we can tell out there. Start looking at us. Start looking at more independent people. Independent workers who think outside the box. Independent writers. And if you're stuck for an idea, think outside the box. Don't be like, Twilight 7 or 8 or 12 came out. Hot vampires are in now. Let's create our own vampire series. And they, like, no. Start thinking outside the box. Later, we'll do another video later today.